Hello virtual boys and girls, this is Ryan for the VR Grid, and I'm not doing a traditional review here because this experience is so short, but the game we're covering today is ASTRA, and it clocks in at less than an hour long, and it is a mixed reality experience for the Quest headsets, Quest tune-up specifically, and I did enjoy this experience, but to be very clear, it is a mixed reality experience. There's not a lot of game happening here. Basically, there's an opening where you open a box and some items float around, and it's all hand tracks. So you can kind of grab and push items in zero gravity. Kind of cool little moments before you're basically your world around you, or at least your main wall and the side walls become like the bridge of a ship. Small bridge. There's not a lot happening here. It's basically just windows mostly and one console. The task of this game is basically to explore known planets in our galaxy and find the elements needed to create life. And there's some educational tidbits that kind of back this. Your little robot AI thing will kind of tell you, facts about oxygen or nitrogen, that kind of thing. But so what's cool here is that in order to you pick your destination, go to your planet, and this is like a little light speed moment, like in Star Wars, where your ship will adjust itself in space, and then you'll go to light speed or warp, whatever it is, and you'll see the lines flashing. It's not the flashiest thing, but it's still kind of cool nonetheless. You arrive at your destination, and then head over to the transporter, which is my favorite part of this whole game. I'm a Star Trek nerd, what can I say? So basically you just walk over in your physical space to the transporter, and then once you're in there, it beams you down. You see all the lights kind of come around you. Pretty slick, pretty cool. It doesn't, once again, look as flashy as it could have, but I still kind of appreciate going from a mixed reality world, my living room, and then all of a sudden I'm transported to the surface of Jupiter or something like that. It's actually, it was cool being in VR mixed reality. This is the first time I was actually like, oh, this is like, I just transported to another reality. It was slick. Anyways, once you're there, you basically use your hand tracking to swipe your hand across your face. That lets you scan the planet for various elements. Once you scan them, you basically, a little mini game, you have to make a fist in time with like how it pulses. The icon pulses, make a fist, you suck that element into your hand, and then find the rest of the elements on the planet. Once you found them all, head back on the transporter. It's a little, little icon or a little like a circular area you can see behind you or near you anyways. And then head back. Once again, cool transporter effect. Head over to the console, go into analysis mode, scan the elements you found, learn a little bit more about them, and then move on to the next location. You do this 4 or 5 times, and then you're basically done. Like I said, it's a very it's an experience that takes less than an hour to get through. And that's kind of the bulk of the gameplay. There is a story attached to this that I honestly couldn't tell you much about. It's just about a girl looking to find life. I mean, it's totally forgettable. I apologize to the developers for that, but I mean, honestly, I was paying attention and I totally forget what the game was about. It has a little cool kind of final cinematic there in regards to, like I said, it's, what if there's life on other planets? What if, life as we know it isn't life as we know it and something else exists that we can't comprehend? So it's got some cool elements, but this is by and large a educational experience more than anything else, with some cool little kind of tidbits. The planets don't look great. The first planet, Jupiter, was very underwhelming. It looked like just a typical 360 JPEG image, so they didn't have a lot of depth to it, other than the nearby area you can walk around, which was unfortunate. Though later planets do kind of mix things up with some water, oceans, some kind of glaciers that break off. So there is some cooler visual elements that do pop up, but they are few and far between. And the game, like I said, overall, those far backgrounds do look kind of flat and boring with not a lot happening, unfortunately. But that being said, it was still kind of cool to be on the surface of, one of Saturn's moons or Jupiter, like I said. So that was kind of cool. So overall, if you're kind of like a space junkie kind of guy, then there's something here for you. And like I said, the light speed effects and the transporter effect just kind of did tickle me in the right ways. But outside of that, it's pretty limited. And because of that, I wouldn't pay more than $5 for this, even if you were kind of curious about that. The mixed reality stuff is cool. Grabbing stuff and using hand tracking and kind of putting it together, that all works just fine. But the overall experience, like I said, is pretty shallow and pretty short. I'm going to give this experience a 6 out of 10. It has some cool moments. It's definitely something you might want to show off to kids or something like that. But outside of that, there really isn't much else here to really entertain you for long, with very little replay factors. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs up, subscribe, all that jazz. That's it for this one. I'm out.